I want to make a point here, and maybe this will.
Yeah, but I want to make sure you understand that I wasn't saying like, oh, we can change the idea. I don't want anyone to change. I want people to appreciate like I just want to beam love at
I want
the
people to grow
hmm,
and to prosper.
I
In
want
fact,
people to feel
I'm gonna
loved.
take grow out of that because grow implies something. I want people to prosper. You can prosper as you are. You can prosper in some aspirational way, but I want people and societies to prosper.
Yeah, I want people to feel loved. I want the admin like I actually don't like prospering is really great and important and yes. But if people don't feel loved, it doesn't matter at all. And then I
Mm.
sort of would say you're not prospering if you don't feel loved. Like that's not what prospering is. Like you have to expand it beyond money.
I don't mean prospering in terms of money.
Ah, so you're talking about thriving.
I'm talking about thriving. Now,
Yes, we want the same
is
things.
not
Yes.
money is not even what comes into mind when I use the word prosper.
Yeah, got it. So you want people to
Yeah,
thrive. Me
I want
too.
people to thrive.
And so if like I want to beam love at the men who are coming in to
Hmm.
power and
Yeah.
just like help them feel loved, help which is I know a radically different approach than sort of the polarizing approach, but like what can anyone do that's good without love?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't think of too many things that you can do without love.
right.
So
So
you said something, you used the phrase late stage capitalism.
no, I didn't. I just said capitalism, but you
Oh,
translated
but
it. You
I
love
wrote
late
down
stage
late
capital.
stage capitalism because to remind me of something I wanted to say. So maybe it's like a segue to a third topic, and then maybe you can finish on the fourth topic because that'll probably get us to about an hour. But uh, I was reading somebody on a social network that I don't know, but was commenting that he was talking to his best friend, and his best friend was lamenting that he has four kids, and none of his four kids are going to do as well as he did. None of them can buy a house or can rent where they can. None of them are thriving,
Right.
and so his friend was blaming government, and the guy that was posting it was also agreeing, blaming government. And then so what my thought was, government. This is not government's fault. This is late stage capitalism, at least in the United States. People think that it's government's fault that people are multi-billionaires and that wages are so low for so many people. And in some way, it is government's fault because government isn't sort of aggressively trying to change it. But nobody in the US wants that kind of
No,
government.
we're not Sweden.
Yeah, we're not Sweden. So, really, what you're complaining about is late stage capitalism, which is, become, and, uh, I'm not an expert on this, but it's more around finances and services and less about manufacturing. And everybody's trying to leverage everything, and everyone's trying to figure out the way to make the maximum amount of profit on the least amount of service. And it's no way to build a community.
Well, it doesn't help. The interesting thing is, it not only doesn't help people thrive. I don't know that I want to call that late stage capitalism because Marx is sort of thinks that that's what happens right before capitalism is destroyed, and I sort of feel like it's nonlinear, and you can go
Yeah,
into
I
that time.
completely, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree. Just
yeah,
using the phrase because I
yeah.
think most people can imagine something that's late stage capitalism.
Right. But I feel like um, what that does to even the people who are, see, the thing is, the people who are actually benefiting from that financially, like the CEOs or the boards or the people who invest in those companies or whomever's benefiting from that, I would say call it a brutalist approach to
Yes.
economies.
Yes.
Whoever's supposedly I guess financially benefiting is having their soul sucked dry. I mean, they're not thriving. So even
That's
they are
what we
not thriving.
think. Is it what they think? I
It
sometimes,
doesn't matter because it's like a fact, right? So it's like, in other words, they may not realize it, but many of them do. I mean, many of them come together and talk about having to have a meeting and like capitalism and the plan B and
Yes.
conscious capitalism. I mean, they're having these conversations at the multi-million and billionaire level
Yeah.
about meaning and about trying to do good things in the world. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying it's sort of the flag has been raised. And it's not the government's fault. It's not capitalism's fault. It's like this is a phase.
Mm.
Like it's just if we could see this as a phase of where we go too far and we go, oh, it turns out we don't like culture in the US is very collaborative, right? This is like
Mhm.
this is what it's like now because we've got these people and this is, you know what I mean? It keeps being collaborative. And so, which I think is really cool. And I know as an anarchist you love, but from that comes, okay, now what's happening is we see the problem. Right before we didn't see the problem, we're like, yes,
Mhm.
yes, we're going to increase
Mhm.
efficiency
Mhm.
and do
Mhm.
it. Now we see the problem that meaning matters.
Right.
Now we see the problem that people's well-being matters. Now we see the
Right.
problem that love matters. Okay, so now we can correct it. And it's everyone's job to correct it. So
I
it's
had a
government's job and it's the
yeah.
capitalist job, right?
This is going to be a very stupid example, but I think it's a good example of not understanding the consequences of efficiency. So a year or 2 years ago, I was playing around with my garbage disposal. It's just such a stupid story. And I turned it on and it ran for 5 seconds. And I went, oh, do I need to really let it run that long? So I started running, just like pressing it in for a second and letting it go. And then, of course, finally it choked up. The mechanism is not built. The mechanism is built to wind up, engage, and then wind down. So I
Mhm.
had to, find the reset tool and the wrench and reset it. And I went, well, that was stupid.
It
So
turns out to be inefficient.